parents lived in Harlem, 138th Street. It was the same building Billy Taylor, the jazz pianist, lived in. And so the first time I ever played the piano, I was in diapers in Billy Taylor's lap, and we were playing together. So when I decided to be a musician, a composer, at first they were really wary about it. Like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be the one to go to law school. But it was, it's something I had to do. They realized I had to do it. And it was funny for me because music for me was always an escape from all the tensions in the world. I got a call to do my first orchestra piece. So I began to compose for orchestra as well as my own ensembles and chamber ensembles, and then of course doing opera after that.
Heralded pianist and composer Anthony Davis first entered the DSO's orbit in 1995 when he visited Detroit as a composer in residence. During his time with us, he visited universities and schools, leaving an indelible impression on the students he interacted with. That residency culminated with the orchestra's performance of Anthony's Notes from the Underground, a work that demonstrates his ability to transcend genre with its undeniable jazz influence.
I'm proud of creating a body of work that hopefully helps to open doors after me, and then also, the idea that music can talk about the issues of our time.
I first became aware of Anthony Davis's work in the fall of 2020 when I needed to find the perfect piece of music for Concerto No. 1 sermon to express how I was feeling about the new rise in attention to the deaths of Black people at the hands of police in America. I found this in Anthony Davis's setting of Talani Davis's words in X, The Life and Times of Malcolm X. The aria and the words were, "You want the truth, but you don't want to know." It was absolutely amazing to find that somebody was so pioneering even back in 1986 in using classical music to address the context at hand. And it was extremely inspiring and continues to be generative of my own growth and process to understand that I have forefathers in this front.
Anthony's dedication to the next generation of musicians is evident in his decades-long teaching career, inspiring students to understand their roots while paving their own way forward.
I think most musicians feel that responsibility and of mentorship and being there for all the next generation of artists who are coming up. One thing I want them to learn is that there's no box, not to settle on things that, what music was in the past, and imagine they're free, imagine their own freedom. And I think that's very important because it's almost like the revolutionary thing. Most revolutionary thing to do is to imagine your freedom.
There was one particular eye-opening time in rehearsal where Anthony illuminated how his aesthetic in classical music worked. He said that it was the blending or the melding of African traditions along with Western European traditions, and that was in a way of showing how Black people in America live a complex, if not contentious, reality.
If you're going to be an American orchestra, you have to represent American music. You have to represent the breadth of American music, how it offers an alternative, how it offers a different vision of music. I think that's part of creating a unique identity for the American orchestra. Music has the potential to illuminate, particularly with opera, with words, etc., to illuminate the past and to look at directions forward. Music is part of telling stories.